Continuing our coverage of concerns at the Port of Greater Baton Rouge, silt accumulations along the lower Mississippi River and in the Baton Rouge area have choked vital shipping channels recently. 60% of all agricultural exports travel through those channels at the mouth of the river. As This Week in Louisiana Agriculture's Sabine explains, new shipping restrictions threaten to take Louisiana ag exports out of the market, just as the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers say they can no longer fully afford to dredge one of the nation's busiest waterways.
Louisiana grain producers see the Mississippi River as a gateway to the world. Now, because of inadequate dredging near the Port of Baton Rouge and the mouth of the river, the gateway has been choked by silt. Dredging has stopped because the U.S. Corps of Engineers, who at one time guaranteed a channel depth of at least 45 feet, now can't afford to maintain the river because of budget cuts. This has forced a group of river pilots to limit the draft of ships to 44 feet, which limits the amount of ag products Louisiana farmers can export to the world. Commissioner of Agriculture Dr. Mike Strain says the issue represents a clear and present danger to Louisiana agriculture.
This represents a clear threat to the commerce of America. It is a national security issue, and it is a major issue in the overall rebuilding of our economy.
Budget cuts notwithstanding, Strain and coalition leaders say the Corps of Engineers could tap the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund, a tax on cargo moved through U.S. ports, which could pay for the dredging.
There is a pot of money that is collected every year. It's called the Harbor Maintenance Trust Fund. It collects about $1.5 billion a year. Of that $1.5 billion a year, only about $750 to $800 million a year is actually used for ports and harbors.
Coalition leaders who rely on commerce generated by the Mississippi River signed a letter urging the Obama administration and Congress to allocate money from the trust fund to resume deep draft dredging on the river. Associated Branch Pilots President Michael Reno says dredging is critical to shipping jobs in the lower Mississippi region.
The fewer ships you have, the less jobs you're going to need. Those longshoremen, they want to unload ships, they want to load ships. That's their livelihood. So if that ship's not coming here, it's going somewhere else, they're out of work. Everyone's out of work.
Still, if dredging does not start up again and the current draft restrictions remain in place, LSU Ag Center Chancellor Bill Richardson says a shallow Mississippi River will have a tremendous impact on agriculture here in Louisiana.
We're really concerned about the future relative to just grain exportation, especially given the fact we've probably got the best grain prices we've ever had right now. So farmers are going to be planting fence row to fence row of soybeans and corn, and so we got to get it out.
Louisiana's congressional delegation has urged the White House to start dredging on the lower Mississippi River. At the Port of Baton Rouge, I'm Sabine for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Right now, the Mississippi River is at its lowest levels in nearly a decade, and that is compounding the dredging issue.